Hi guys! Today we are going to talk about different types of motorcycles, which are the strong and weak sides of each bike type, and ultimately, which type is the most beginner-friendly, so to speak. And just to make sure we're all on the same page, I'll clarify what I mean by that. From the point of view of a motorcycle instructor like me, a beginner-friendly motorcycle is a bike which allows our beginner rider to learn the basic and possibly most intricate aspects of riding in the most easy and comfortable way possible, and preferably in the shortest amount of time. Yes, sure, a person can learn on any motorcycle. The question is only how fast, easy and effective he'll do it. At the end of the day, anyone can learn how to ride, at least at some level. After all, riding is not that difficult. You literally can teach a bear how to ride a bike. So anyone on any bike can learn how to go from point A to point B on a straight road. The tricky part is to prepare a new rider not only for normal situations, like just riding down the road in a straight line with constant speed, but also for any possible road challenges. Like at some point, we will be forced to brake really fast, or swerve around an obstacle, or brake suddenly in the middle of a turn, or get out of the way of a car behind us, which doesn't pay attention. Also, we must be able to constantly assess the road situation around us and react to it accordingly. And with some types of bikes, all this stuff is much easier to learn. Alright, now, when hopefully we all agree on what we roughly want from a beginner-friendly bike, let's look at what we can choose from. Motorcycles today are not just one size fits all. We've got a wide variety of types to choose from. There are cruisers for more relaxed rides, sport bikes for carving high-speed corners, touring bikes for the long hauls, and dual-purpose machines for those who love asphalt and dirt equally. Thanks to awesome advancements in technology, today's bikes are more capable and adaptable than ever. Let's dive into how each type of bike can serve your specific riding needs and how it compares to other types. Before we do it though, as usual, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, check out my courses for beginners and advanced riders, and for those of you who wish to become a truly proficient rider, subscribe to my advanced 3 months long King of the Road course, which starts again very soon. Just like it was last time, the number of spots in the course is limited and they will go away pretty fast, so subscribe now! Don't miss the start! First of all, the standard motorcycle, often also called naked or classic, which is pretty much the same thing, but in a retro style. Standard bikes are probably the most common type. That's how a random person usually pictures a motorcycle. Handlebars, a comfortable upright seat position, and almost zero bodywork. No aerodynamic fairings and usually no big windshields or extra luggage space. That's your standard bike. Simple and straightforward. Why are these bikes so common? Well, they skip the fancy extras and the elaborate fairings, which not only drops their price, but also makes them cheaper and easier to maintain, repair and insure. If you drop it, you won't have to sell a kidney to afford the new OEM plastic panels. But don't let the simplicity fool you. Standards are fantastic starter bikes. Their upright position, manageable size and lighter weight makes them a breeze to handle. They strike a sweet balance in riding posture. You don't have to become a shrimp like on a sport bike, but you also are not just absorbing all bumps on the pavement with your spine, like on cruisers. Standards are very versatile bikes. They can easily handle commuting, casual rides and even a bit of track riding. Another good thing for a beginner is that over time, the rider can learn more about what type of riding he actually enjoys, and so he can pretty easily customize the bike for better experience. Thanks to a whole bunch of aftermarket accessories like engine protection, windshields, luggage racks, different kinds of handlebars and seats, we can pretty easily modify the bike for more sportier or for more touring type of riding. Plus, with open access to the engine, thanks to no fairing in the way, doing our own maintenance is also much simpler than with some other types of bikes. Next on our list are cruisers. Cruiser motorcycles are all about the style and cool factor. They have the lowest seat height you'll find, making them super accessible and easy to flatfoot, which is sometimes helpful for beginners. But cruisers are not just about good looks. Their relaxed and comfortable riding position makes them a favorite among riders who spend a lot of time on their bikes. They are extremely comfortable to ride as long as the pavement is good. That's why many cruiser enthusiasts personalize their rides with saddlebags and windshields, enhancing their bikes for longer journeys. For that, cruisers are almost a perfect choice. On the other end of the motorcycle spectrum are sport bikes. These are the street-legal versions of the beasts you'll see tearing up racetracks. Wrapped in a sleek aerodynamic bodywork, sport bikes are designed to cut through the air. They force the rider to sit in a forward-leaning position. On a sport bike, we are supposed to pretty much lie down on the fuel tank. This is not a comfortable posture for most people, but sport bikes never were made for comfort. They are all about high performance. They are engineered with the latest engine tech, advanced braking systems and cutting-edge suspension. They are built using lightweight materials to boost speed and responsiveness. On a track, nothing will touch these machines. On the other hand, this aggressive riding position simply isn't made for leisurely long rides. Sport bikes are built to be fast, not comfortable and convenient. For those purposes, we have touring machines. These bikes are the luxury liners of the motorcycle realm, built for covering vast distances in supreme comfort. Large fairings to shield the rider from the wind, big top box and saddlebags to store all the luggage, plush seat and suspension, built-in navigation, and a bunch of auxiliary electronics. Touring bikes are designed to be your best companion on a long journey, providing stability, comfort, and options that can rival some cars. Sometimes it goes a bit out of control. Luxury touring models come with stuff like cruise control, stereo systems, intercoms, big color tele right in front of a rider, self-adjusting front windshield and other stuff of that nature. Basically, it's like you are in the backseat of a business car sedan, but for some reason you are also on a bike at the same time. For those who like the idea of having a lot of luggage capability and good wind protection, but think having a TV set and reverse gear in the motorcycle is a bit too much, there are so-called sport touring motorcycles, which are sort of a blend between touring motorcycles and sport bikes. They bring together the best features of both parents. You get the long range and comfy seats, which are ideal for both you and your passenger, paired with the agility and performance of a sport bike. These bikes typically come with light removable luggage options, making them a pretty good choice for almost everything from daily commuting to weekend getaways. What sets these bikes apart is their riding position. It's much more upright and comfortable than your typical sport bike, making them comfortable for long stretches on the highway, yet still very capable when the road gets twisty. They strike a balance, offering easier handling than full-sized tourers, thanks to the lighter weight and smaller size. Now let's quickly digress into completely different types of bikes. Dirt bikes, also known as trail or off-road motorcycles. These rugged machines are specifically designed to ride off the pavement. On this channel we mostly talk about riding on the street, but I feel obligated to mention dirt bikes nonetheless. Equipped with distinctive, knobby tires, dirt bikes can grip onto the soft and uneven surfaces, making them ideal for everything from narrow woodland paths to vast sandy deserts. The long travel suspension soaks up bumps, ruts and all kinds of rough terrain you'll encounter on your adventure. However, it's important to note that these bikes aren't meant for your typical road use. They lack the street-legal necessities like proper lighting and suitable tires for pavement. But that's what makes them perfect for off-road excitement. Next are supermotos, also known as motards. These are pretty much dirt bikes set up for riding on the pavement. They have road tires, stiffer suspension and better brakes. These bikes are not typically very fast on a straight road because they have terrible aerodynamics. but on the other hand they are extremely nimble. The essence of a supermoto is its ability to offer a dynamic riding experience, quick and responsive handling that makes every ride a heart-pumping adventure. If your riding dreams include popping wheelies, sliding into turns, or just enjoying a versatile bike that can take on any challenge except riding fast, a supermoto might just be the best choice. Another blend of on- and off-road experience are dual-purpose motorcycles. These machines are designed for riders who aren't satisfied with sticking to the asphalt and instead want to explore every nook and cranny of the countryside. Starting with an idea that mirrors an off-road bike, dual-purpose motorcycles feature a lightweight, narrow frame that's easy to maneuver, whether you are navigating a rocky trail or weaving through city traffic. They're equipped with long travel suspensions to handle bumps and dips effortlessly, making unpaved surfaces easier to ride. But at the same time, these bikes are tweaked to be street legal. They come with full lighting to keep you visible on the road and tires that are less aggressively knobbed to handle pavement without sacrificing too much traction off-road. This means you can hit the trails, then ride straight home without needing to haul your bike on the back of a trailer. Dual-purpose bikes are not just about wild adventures, they are also surprisingly effective as city commuters. Their high, upright riding position offers excellent visibility and control, while the soft suspension soaks up urban obstacles like potholes with ease. However, it's worth noting that their narrow and firm saddles and smaller fuel tanks, while great for short rides, might not be the best for long-distance comfort. For those of you looking to blend long-distance road trips with the occasional off-road adventure, adventure tourers are the perfect middle ground. These bikes are tailored for riders who are willing to trade a bit more of dirt capabilities for enhanced on-road performance. Adventure tourers evolve from the dual-purpose design but amp up the features to better suit long road journeys. They have larger engines that handle highways with ease, have a greater fuel range to keep you going longer, and use more road-oriented tires and suspension setup for pavement. Many of these models also come standard with extras like windshields and luggage racks. Yet, despite these road-biased upgrades, adventure tourers retain enough off-road prowess to handle dirt and gravel paths, making these bikes truly versatile. Alright, we've looked at all the major types of motorcycles out there. Now comes the big question for all new riders: which bike is the best for beginners? It turns out there are several good answers to this question, and each one makes a lot of sense. The most common piece of advice, and probably the best, is to start with a lightweight standard or naked bike. These bikes are the total package for newbies. They offer a comfortable upright riding position, they are super nimble and incredibly easy to handle. This means you can focus on mastering your riding skills without any unnecessary complications. Plus, they're straightforward to maintain, so you can get a grip on the motorcycle maintenance right from the start. But that's not the only route you can take. If you are feeling adventurous, you might consider a road-legal small supermoto or dual sport bike. These bikes add a bit of spice to your riding experience with their off-road capabilities. However, there is an important note to keep in mind. Unlike many modern naked bikes, most dual sports and supermotos don't come with ABS. ABS can be a real lifesaver, especially since a lot of new rider accidents are linked to braking mistakes. ABS helps to prevent those scary skids and falls by keeping your brakes from locking up. So, if I were recommending a first bike to a beginner rider, I'd suggest a small naked bike, which ironically is what I currently ride myself. Or, if you're leaning towards something that can handle both streets and a bit of a dirt, go for a supermoto or dual sport, just make sure it's equipped with ABS for that extra safety net. Another piece of advice you'll often hear is to start your riding journey on a dirt bike. And there is a lot of wisdom in that. Riding on dirt offers a unique training ground because it allows you to experiment at much lower speeds. Wonder what it feels like when you lock up the front or rear wheel? Or how to maintain balance effectively? How about understanding how weight transfer affects traction? Dirt bike lets you explore all these aspects at small, lean angles and safer speeds than you would on pavement. However, while the dirt bike route is fantastic, it does come with a catch. If you live right in the middle of a big city, access to dirt trails might not be so easy. Imagine needing to load up your bike on a truck and drive out for a couple of hours just to find a suitable place to ride. In such cases, starting with a standard naked bike might just make more sense. If you are lucky enough to have easy access to off-road areas, a dirt bike could provide an excellent low-risk environment for honing your skills. But if you are a more urban-based guy, sticking to a naked bike could save you a lot of hassle while still offering a solid foundation for learning. Next, there is one more approach out there. Buy any bike you want, Harley, Hayabusa, R1, whatever, and just learn on it. Why wait? Buy your dream bike immediately. On the surface, it sounds great, right? After all, riding is not a rocket science. Even a bear can ride, so surely any of us can learn on any bike. This approach isn't without merit. If all you need is just to cruise down a straight road and make occasional gentle turns, then yes, virtually any bike will do. But here is the catch. If your goal is to become not just a rider, but a good rider, then the type of the first bike matters a lot more. Want to master advanced techniques like those we teach in our King of the Road course? Advanced braking, cornering at sharp angles, and maneuvering in tight spaces? Then starting on heavy and expensive machine might actually set you back. Why? Because you'll be too worried about dropping and damaging your precious ride to really push yourself and learn. And yes, while starting on a powerful, eye-catching motorcycle can make you feel good about yourself, which is an important factor, on the other hand, it could hinder your ability to learn quickly and effectively. But don't worry, I have a solution. My personal favorite. That's both simple and elegant. Get two bikes! Yeah, go ahead and buy the dream bike of yours to show off in front of your friends. But also get a smaller, more manageable naked bike for your training sessions. The beauty of this plan is that nearly everything you learn on the smaller bike will transfer directly to the larger one. Basic techniques like counter-steering, maintaining balance, plotting trajectories and understanding the dynamics of forces during braking or cornering remain constant across different types of bikes. The only real downside? You guessed right. You'll need money and space for two bikes. But let's be honest. With time, as a true motorcycle enthusiast, you will always need just one more bike. So why don't start doing it right away? This way, you get the best of both worlds. Your dream machine and practical training bike to hone your skills to perfection. A true win-win. Before you go, smash that like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to support this channel, become a member right here on YouTube or join our Patreon. As a member, you will gain access to my new exclusive series of short video stories about most common dangerous road situations and, most importantly, how to avoid them. This can be pretty helpful for any rider looking to stay safe on the road. Thank you for watching, ride safe and have a wonderful day. Bye!